Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Detroit Lions. This is my first video on them this season. Last time we chatted it was about the NFC Championship game, but now we're starting fresh. The Lions kicked off the season strong with a thrilling 26-20 overtime win against the Los Angeles Rams at home. First things first, I believe the NFL should rethink its overtime rules for the regular season. Sure, the playoff format works for the Super Bowl, but why not let both teams have a fair shot in the regular season too? It would make the games even more exciting, but that's not something the Lions can control. They won the coin toss, got the ball first, and marched down the field to score. David Montgomery had a solid game with 17 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs also contributed with 11 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. As for Detroit's other key players, they were a bit quieter. Amon-Ra St. Brown caught 3 passes for just 13 yards, and Sam Laporta had 4 catches for 45 yards. Despite that, the Lions still pulled off the win, which is pretty impressive. The real star of the game was Jameson Williams. If the Lions are aiming for the Super Bowl this year, they'll need Williams to shine every game. He made a big impact with 5 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown, plus a 13-yard rush. His speed and playmaking ability were on full display, especially on one play where he made a big gain against Tre'Davious White. White held him, but honestly, it's tough for any cornerback to keep up with Williams. Jared Goff had an okay game, throwing for 217 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Credit goes to the Rams' defense for putting up a strong performance. I didn't expect this, especially with key players like Ernest Jones and Aaron Donald out. Despite the absences, the Rams' defense, led by Byron Young and Troy Reeder, played exceptionally well. Jared Verse even got his first sack. The Rams' secondary also performed well, except for one play where Williams got the better of them. On the Rams' side, their offense had some missed opportunities. They made it deep into Detroit's territory twice but couldn't score. Going for it on 4th down is fine, but they really needed to convert those chances, especially against a strong Lions offense. Matthew Stafford had a decent game, throwing for 317 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The pick was a costly one in the red zone, where Kirby Joseph made a great play. Stafford didn't see the safety help coming, which is unusual for him. Last year, the Rams didn't have any red zone turnovers, but they had one in this game. Stafford was under a lot of pressure all night, with Aiden Hutchinson making a huge impact as the standout player on the field. That's a wrap for today's breakdown. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on the Lions and other NFL action. I chose Jameson Williams for the thumbnail because I'm really excited about what he can do this season. I was a big fan of him coming out of Alabama. But let's talk about Aiden Hutchinson. He was clearly the standout player on the field. Off the top of my head, he had around 11 pressures. The Rams tried everything to slow him down, including chip blocks, but Hutchinson was still getting through. To deal with Hutchinson, the Rams would motion a player to his side and then use a chip block before sending the player out to catch the ball. That was pretty much their only option for generating offense at times, especially since they struggled to run the ball, finishing with 23 carries for 83 yards. If you want to beat the Lions, running the ball is key to keeping their offense off the field. But Detroit has a top-notch run defense, making that a tough task. Honestly, I think the Lions have a strong shot at making it to the Super Bowl this year. Last season, they should have made it if they had stuck to their game plan and managed 4th downs and turnovers better. But that's behind us. Detroit clearly has the talent to beat anyone, and they showed it last year by starting off with a win against the Chiefs and making it to the NFC Championship. They had a great draft and off-season, so I'm excited to see how they perform this season. For the Rams, Puka Nacua, who caught 4 passes for 35 yards, got injured and was placed on IR. Cooper Kupp had an amazing game with 14 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown, making 21 targets seem almost normal. Tyler Johnson made a remarkable 63-yard catch, and Kobe Parkinson and DeMarcus Robinson also had solid performances. Kyren Williams was pretty quiet with just 18 yards on 50 carries, and he had a touchdown to avoid a disappointing game. He's also now handling punt returns. Looking ahead for the Lions, they're set to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 2. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. The last game against the Rams was 26-20, and while it wasn't low-scoring, it felt like it had fewer big plays than it actually did. But I can definitely see the Lions-Buccaneers game getting into the high 30s with a lot of offense. After that, they'll play at Arizona in Week 3 and against Seattle in Week 4. Games between the Seahawks and Lions are always exciting and high-scoring, so that should be fun. The Lions have a bye in Week 5 and then face the Dallas Cowboys in Week 6. We all remember the last time they played the Cowboys. It was a tough loss due to a questionable call. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis as the season unfolds. So, here's the takeaway from the game. It was a solid match, though not a high-scoring shootout. As a YouTuber, I'd love to talk about those thrilling, high-offense games, but this one was more about two teams battling it out physically. In the end, the Lions came out on top. One crucial moment was late in the game when the Lions were down by 3 points. Goff connected with Sam Laporta across the middle, and a late hit penalty added 15 yards, putting Detroit in better field goal range. Plays like that can make all the difference. The Rams had a chance to win with a late touchdown to Cooper Kupp, but they couldn't stop the Lions' drive. I'm sure that's something the Rams are still kicking themselves over. Detroit didn't exactly play their best game, and the same goes for the Rams. The Lions were effective in the run game and on defense, but their passing game wasn't as strong. What makes the Lions so tough is their balanced offense. Last year, Jared Goff was second in the league in passing yards, and their run game, with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, is top-notch. Adding Jameson Williams into the mix and having speedy players like Khalif Raymond makes the Lions' offense very dangerous. One of their biggest assets is Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator. He was a candidate for head coaching jobs with the Commanders and Seahawks in the off-season, but decided to stay. With a talented play caller like Johnson and head coach Dan Campbell, plus defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, the Lions are in great shape. On a personal note, it feels great to be talking about the Lions again. I haven't made a Lions video since June. Fun fact, I only own 2 NFL jerseys. One is Puka Nacua, and the other is a DeAndre Swift Lions jersey. I picked Swift over Hutchinson, which seems a bit funny now, but hey, jerseys are pricey, and players can get traded. Watching Aiden Hutchinson was a blast. Edge rushers are incredibly valuable because they can impact every single play, unlike wide receivers or running backs. Hutchinson was a game changer in this matchup. The Rams had some bright spots too. Matthew Stafford threw for 317 yards, and although they only rushed for 83 yards, it wasn't awful. Cooper Kupp and other Rams weapons were consistent, despite Puka Nacua leaving early. Overall, it was a good start for the Lions to pull off the win. The Rams are a tough team, and Sean McVay is a brilliant offensive mind who's won a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, in his 16th year, is a Hall of Famer in my book. Lions fans know him well, as he started his career in Detroit. That's it for now. Peace out, everyone!